welcome to Rick's Scale Model Fix, and today we're going to be looking at a brand new release from Kinetic Model Kits in the form of the Israeli Aircraft Industries Nesher. I believe this kit is due to be released at the end of September 2020. It's a 2-in-1 boxing, so we've got single and double seat combo, which means either a single seat or a 2-seat aircraft can be built with the contents of the kit. Lovely striking box art there as always from Kinetic, proudly displaying cartograph decals and designed by Isra Decals, so I'm sure aftermarket quality decals will be the nature of the beast in there. Just having a look round the box, we've got short blurb about the history of the type and the attractive decal options there for the two-seat version and 2 single-seat version within that a lovely disruptive Israeli camo. Just having a look at the box end, I've repeated the box top artwork, and your kit number for this one is 48056. So without further ado, let's get it onto the workbench and we'll have a look at the box contents. So lifting the lid, we're greeted with a box full of plastic sprues, all individually bagged. So we've got one for the single fuselage, one for the 2-seat fuselage and cockpit tub, 2 sprues of weapons and underwing drop tanks, 2 sprues for the clear parts, another one including intake parts and wheels, ejector seats, and the main one containing the parts for the underwing and some weapons there. So we've got a couple of bits come off the sprues in the bag. Got the instruction sheet and the decals. So let's start with the decal sheet. Printed by Cartograph, as we can see in the bottom corner, designed by Isra Decal. All intents and purposes it's an aftermarket decal sheet, well printed, perfect register as you'd expect. You've got the black and yellow triangular ID panels, aircraft maintenance marking and stencils, kill markings, and the Israeli Air Force national insignia there. They shouldn't prove a problem to work with, they're usually a joy to use. So looking at the instruction booklet, it is a photocopy. Looks like the toner was running out on mine as well. But we've got that lovely box top artwork there again. Opening the booklet, and we have the parts layout on page 2 and a colour call out grid, cross-referencing all the colours to Ammo, Vallejo, Mr Colour, Tamiya and Humbrol. Looking at page 4, the construction starts, and it's stated there that page 4 to 10 is for the single seat option. So we've got a nice rendition of ejector seat going into the cockpit tub, some nice detailed colour call out for the instrument panel, everything coming together pre-assembled in stage 3, and moving on to the wheel well in stage 4. They're joined together, cockpit tub and wheel wells before the jet cans built up, intake splitter plates being added to the fuselage sides, and the fuselage joined together in stage 9. Once the fuselage is together, we've got a spine section and the intake shells for the outer side of the airframe, before moving on to the wings. Conventional lower single span section with 2 upper surface halves. We've got posable air brakes by the looks of it. Few more sections, generic sections being added to the underbelly plate, dependent on the type of airframe that we're building. Fuselage and lower wing section coming together. Having built the Mirage previously, it's worth noting that the spread of the fuselage is quite tricky fit, not impossible, but don't take anything to chance there. Bottom of page 7, and we see the undercarriage being built up for the nose gear before being added to the airframe, and it's nice to see it gives you the option for an in-flight model or extended. Main gear starts construction on bottom of page 8 in stage 15. Before that again is added to the model, and we've either got undercarriage doors in the open or in-flight positions. Concluding the single seat build, we have tail fin and some other bits and pieces along with the nose cone, canopy posed in the open or closed position, and then page 11 onwards seems to focus on the 2-seat version of this kit. So just looking at the 2-seat version, that cockpit looks a lot more detailed than the earlier one on page 4. There's certainly more going on, I think. So obviously twin seats this time for the 2-pit airframe. Wheel wells for the nose gear leg being joined in position along with the undercarriage, and then looking at this, it's a mirror image of the single seat production. Actually looking a little bit different, that we've got the different assembly sequence for the first stage compressor fan and the intake section going into the underneath of the fuselage there. So it's actually different from the single seat version, which shows it being added separately. So it might be worth dry fitting there and having a check to see which process is actually the better. Fuselage halves coming together, and there's those different builder sequence, so it's got you building up the intake separately. Is the intake's full length on the single seat one? I wouldn't suggest that it actually is. Maybe, yeah, it just looks different. It's a different assembly sequence. Perhaps this works better. Time will tell. We've got the left and the right fuselage intake shells coming on, and then the wing section identical now in this part of the build to the single seat one. Perhaps the instructions are a little bit clearer at this point. We've got the nose, tail and the larger single piece twin cockpit. And then we jump onto page 18, and sections 23 deal with the 500 litre fuel tanks, and then we're on to the flap hinges. So this is where you'd pick up the single seat build and join back into the main build with the wing flaps going on. It's nice to see that they can be posed flaps down. And then we turn finally at the back of the instruction book to the painting diagrams and marking options. So we've got a couple of single seaters with various squadron markings. So we've got 144 squadron and 113 squadron, and two seat airframes with the same squadrons. Actually, I think the airframe looks better as a 2-seater, so we'll see. We'll have some decisions to make before we start the build. So there we go, let's take a look at the plastic in detail. So opening the first bag of parts, we have some escapees, so we better keep that one safe. So we have the various under fuselage panels and spine panels along with a single seat cockpit. So I don't know if the camera can pick that out, but the detail is quite nice. Turn it in the light. You got that elongated nose section. Again, the moulding is superb, the rivet details fine and restraint along with the panel lines. So next up we have a weapon sprue with some Mark 82s and their associated ejector racks. Another sprue with some more cockpit instrumentation, landing gear, flaps, sidewall detail for the undercarriage bays and the flap hinges. There's some sink marks creeping in there, so hopefully they'll not be visible on the finished model. The major sprue in that package, obviously the wings. So like we said just as we were looking through the instruction book, simple affair, lower single piece with two upper sections, and we've got these different parts for the different guises that the kit's been released in that go into the centre section. The moulding's lovely, nice restrained rivet detail. It's a little bit clunky, but then do remember that this isn't a brand new Kinetic kit, hence why it's not in a Kinetic Gold box. So it does throw its history back to their Mirage 3 kit. So this sprue contains intake splitter plates and the wheels. Not a great fan of these tyres and hub centre sections. I prefer them to be moulded in two clean halves if have to be. Jet to seat, sidewall details quite nice on those, and the jet can, it's not bad, not a bad rendition, and the first stage compressor blades there as well. Nice detail on the inside of the undercarriage doors if it'll pick it up. Couple of clear sprues for the canopy parts. I'm not going to remove these from the bag just to protect them, but they are crystal clear and well produced. No mould flaws visible. This could probably be classed as the main sprue for the kit, and it features the two-seat fuselage and noses, intake, outer shells and splitter plates, couple of instrument panels and a cockpit tub. Again, the moulding is really nice. Certainly a little bit different if I just compare it to the single seat one. As you can see, the plastic is a different colour and the detail's not quite as crisp on that single seat fuselage. So hopefully it'll not be too much of a mismatch in the panel detail between the wings and this fuselage. This one is clearly the new sprue. So this is the single seat fuselage, and it shows its age, and just in the box just how far Kinetic have come on since their earlier kits. Still, it's not a bad build. It looks good when it's finished, and that detail is certainly acceptable. Don't want to unpack these, it's just simply the generic sprue containing the weapons and drop tanks. So we've got some sidewinders and rocket pods in there. So all in all, it looks like a great little package at a really good price. Obviously the proof of the pudding is in the eating, so we'll see how it builds up. So there we have Kinetic's new release for September in the Israeli Aircraft Industries Nesher, a 2-in-1 double boxing. As you've seen, it's quite a comprehensive kit, available from Lucky Model, and I must pass on my thanks to Kinetic Model Kits for the review sample, and one I look forward to getting on the bench in due course and reporting back. So until next time, please stay safe, take care and keep well.